Derek was, by the way, we're an international film crew in operation here, so it's been filmed. At least a couple of people are filming, so I need to watch what I'm saying for some of it. Derek and Elaine, obviously, as the audit section, are leaving today, so Derek was getting a wee sign, he was going to say audit closed and put it on his desk as he was leaving. Thought better of it, so he's just going to get the word audit and put an S in front of it, and then leave. Want to keep up, you want me to explain that?
Rob, stop filming.
Before we start, a bit of housekeeping. There's no fire alarm test today planned, which is maybe just as well, because if it was Derek and me that were doing it, we might as well just go out now. Boom, boom. Boom, right, welcome everybody. Slightly unusual circumstance for this one, a three-way retirement presentation for Derek, Ruth and Elaine, as it says here. Safety in numbers to some extent, because there's three of you. Hopefully not too traumatic for any of you, myself or indeed anybody else is here today. Slightly different approach, I'm using PowerPoint to assist this. Two reasons: partly my memory's not as it was and my eyesight's not as it was, so it's a help for me as well. And there's a few other things that may come in handy as we're moving through to see PowerPoint rather than try to explain. Derek, Ruth and Elaine. What colour is that there? Can you see what that colour is? It's maroon, I hope. It's maroon, correct. Elaine, can you see what colour that is?
It's not meant to be red, it looks orange.
It's meant to be red, and Ruth, football fan, not. So, pink, obviously the colour of Scotland away strip, so that's football. Right. This should work, but that hopefully. Fantastic. Anybody have a clue what that number, the relevance of that number?
No combined ages, just
combined ages, no combined ages. Did somebody say, keep going?
Upside down 69.
Always one, eh? I know, that's right. 96 years service between them in only the assessor's office, not including any previous service, anybody else or any other jobs. So 96 years, a long time. Same age as John. Gives our apologies for not being here today.
It's a surprise guest.
Maybe not. That says reminiscences. There's a couple of goes at spelling that properly. So I made a mess of it the first time. So this is when you can brace yourselves, right, for what's coming next. Actually, for two of you, like you guess which two, stories didn't turn up too much. Possibly because you got to everybody before I did to warn them off. I do have a couple of things. So start maybe with Ruth. Yeah. Ruth, in fact, your friends that you're proud, Ruth, they told me absolutely nothing. Stories about Ruth, please. Nothing. Fantastic. So, I fall back. Something I've noticed over the years, whereby a mystery man appears just before 12 every day. And you go running out the door just before 12 every day. Clock out, waiting to clock in. Into the car, being driven away. Mystery man brings you back at some point in the afternoon. So now, in front of everybody, you can actually tell us who that mystery man is. Really is the person that picks you up every day. What, you got to keep the suspense going. Who is it? Who is it? Tell us. Who is it? Your lover. See? Quiet ones are always the one. Fantastic. So I'll leave it there then, huh? Getting off very lightly. But for now, anyway, it's not done yet, it's not over. Elaine. Elaine, queen of the unintentional double entendre. Some examples, so if you're easily offended, you might want to cover your ears here. I'm going to do it, see it, that's right. Right. if you recognise anything, I'm just joining in as we go. So working in the mailroom. Working in the mailroom, got all the bundles sorted into nice, nice bundles. Woe betide anybody who came to tamper with those bundles, eh? Because what would you shout at them? You remember? Don't tell me, I'll tell you first. Stop fingering my piles, he said. Shouted across the room. Which takes people aback as they're walking past the room rather than going into it. Another one of a series. Who're after my guy? Carrying out lighting testing, that's everybody, we get the email sound, obviously Elaine never noticed the email. So all the lights go off, and Elaine, blissfully unaware, starts manically waving her arms around to try and get lights to come on. Realises when they don't come on that the guy's doing the test. Right, so asks the guy, while you're here, if he can fix that wee fanny thing. The guy says, sorry love, I'm only an electrician. And away he went. I've never been seen since. Last one. Oh no, this is the last one. IT apparently, this one's from IT. I wouldn't divulge who it is, Derek. When you asked Derek if it was okay if you downloaded a paedophile from the internet. Apparently you meant a PDF, is that right? And again, Elaine getting off quite lightly at this point. Turning to the other member of staff who's leaving us, Derek. Not getting off so lightly, as you can imagine. Derek's been, that 96 number, Derek's been here for, not quite 90 of those, just maybe seems like that. Couple of stories, which you can, I could maybe interact, we'll get you to see if you remember at some point through the story, and then possibly get you to interject or put your side of the story alongside it. First one I've titled, Get Your Facts Right. Being an audit, that's important, get your facts right. Right, picture the scene. After one of the office Christmas parties.
Yeah.
No, not yet, not there yet.
No.
Still on the go with a few colleagues. Decided it was late. Decided to get another drink, and the only way you could get another drink at that time in those days was the nearest casino. No? No one in the group was a member, but Derek said not to worry because he'd blag it. Got to the door, faced by the burly doorman. Are you a member? Of course, says Derek, and gives his name and address. Sorry sir, I can't find you in the database, comes a reply from the receptionist. Derek at this point puts on his tone of indignation. This is ridiculous, I've been a member for years, and now some job's worth tells me they can't find me in their database. I demand to get in. Ringing any bells yet, At this point, the doorman moves a bit closer, getting ready to chuck you out. Unperturbed, you keep going. Listen, I must be in your database. Apart from spending money at the tables, I've dined regularly in your restaurant. You know what's coming? What's coming, Derek? There was no restaurant. At which point, apparently, you just turned and next one, titled Organisation to Detail. Now, a lot of you will be familiar with these stories. This is only one of a series. I won't go into the rest of it. Derek's seasoned traveller, lives for his foreign holidays and European breaks, but also tries to bag a bargain at the same time.
Right.
Yeah. A few years ago, booked flights to Turkey with his wife Jean and his son Greg. In unusual circumstances, they were all on the same flight, which was unusual. After pricing flights, he got out it would be much cheaper to fly back into Newcastle. Yeah? Rather than getting return flights from Edinburgh. Reckoned 180 quid to be saved. Fantastic. Sounds a good deal. Right. As part of his calculations, he knew he would have to hire a car to drive back up from Newcastle. Be a bagatelle compared to his 180 quid saving. However, after booking the flights, realised the flights didn't land back to Newcastle until 2 a.m. Which necessitated a hotel. Because you couldn't get the car hire till 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay. You were also informed when you booked the car that it was a £40 one-way car hire. Not bringing it back is when you leave it in Edinburgh. And the fuel costs as well. So basically, you're saving your car hire, your hotel booking, your one-way fee, not to mention all the carry-on I get not flying back from Edinburgh. Is that worthwhile? You're right. The moral of that is don't speak to Derek when you meet your travel agent. Right, the last one. Not much to this, but my personal favourite, titled Lunch in Haddington. Derek was out in Haddington, a lovely part of the world, with Sandra Pupkis doing canvasser interviews a few years ago. Remember this one? After finishing the interviews, which all went well, they popped into a local cafe for lunch. When they'd finished, an old gentleman approached Sandra and said, "That's nice to see, dear." Sandra was a bit like, "Yeah, what do you mean?" The old gentleman replied that it was good to see Sandra take her dad out for lunch.
That happens quite regularly with my wife as well.
I'm not going to go there. Right. What next? I had a chat with the three of them a couple of days ago about what the immediate future holds for them. A few things about what they're thinking of doing once they've left the office. So we're kind of packaged it up in a wee kind of montage. Right. Right, we'll start with Derek this time. Derek, I don't know if you can see that now. Obviously, your holidays, you're planning your next cruise, hopefully not that particular vessel, although with the track record, you never know what can happen. So yeah, Derek.
That's on my agenda.
Not that one.
No, that one, no.
No, that one. That's fine. The other thing, which might take a wee bit more explaining from Derek, he did say to me he's looking forward to sampling the cafe culture in Lone Head. Or as it says in the Lone Heat, which is more common. Apparently, Lone Head being the cosmopolitan place that it is, there are several coffee shops, and it's Derek's intent quality coffee shops. Not Greg's.
Asda, Sainsbury's, IKEA.
So some contemplative time spent in these coffee houses, contemplating what's going to look like as you know it now. Good. So Lone Head's a place to be for. Where we'll go next. Ruth. Still there? Ruth. Images that are relevant to yourself. But first now, this is, I must admit, we apology to make here. So it's like breakdown in communication between myself and my technical director and one of them. This fellow here, actually Turkey, the country, which is where Ruth goes on holiday twice a year. Yeah. But when I saw it, I thought it's nearly Christmas Day, come on. And it gives me the opportunity to wish you all very Merry Christmas once it comes along. So it's not Turkey, it's place Turkey, but it's with a couple of holidays planned for next year. Booked already, no doubt. In our busy times. Just rewind that bit. Now, the next one, you see the wee picture at the top right there? If you look closely at that, who does that remind you of? That's actually your face there. Now you like, look. Anybody who can't see that, that's Ruth's face superimposed on Mrs. Doyle from Father Ted. The reason for that, Ruth said to me she fancies doing a wee bit of volunteer work, possibly in a care home. I said, well, you can practice in here. Well, that's something. Still thinking of doing something like that. Quite fancy that. Good. But it's quite nice. Right. The other two, closest elimination relate to Elaine. Now, first one, Elaine is, once she leaves, she's going to become a stand-up comedian. No, you're not, and that's Ken Dodd. That's not a new Elaine, Mike. It's not super definitely Ken Dodd. Another to do with comedy, it's the feather duster. Those who might not know, Elaine has managed to get a new job cleaning the show houses in the estate that you're now living.
Not the scheme.
Not the scheme. Not the scheme. Next to Lone Heath. We're heckling for that shot. So yeah, that's good. Pass the time. Yes, he's sparkling. So even if you don't want to buy one in these houses, you can nip down and run your finger across the surface in the shop. See how she's getting on. And the other one, the last week picture we've got, is Westies. Elaine, I think you've had a wee Westie in the past, and quite fancies getting one for long walks in the lovely Midlothian countryside. So hopefully it's cute as that. The white one as well. Yeah. Hopefully, boom boom. Up to now I've refrained. Hopefully it won't turn out to be a mad dog. I know Derek doesn't like necessarily that. Done well on this up to now. Right. So that's the immediate plans. There's one other possibility for one of the members of staff that I've been thinking about. So the next couple of slides are along those lines. For spending some of the Vera money that they're going to get, loads of money. Derek, had to be you. From the day I started in the office, over 30 years ago, Derek was bald. And he still is, obviously. I'd asked around for any photographs of Derek with hair, and sadly there were none. Sepia doesn't hold well. So, from his early days, as far as I can remember, probably most of you as well, keep out the cold, Derek's had to wear his woolly hat and his hood to keep out the cold. Just in the passing, when I was putting these together, somebody did say to me, "Is that Derek's dad?" Mr. Lone Heath at the back there. I'm not starting that again. Remember it is. A few years ago, Derek revelled in the look-alike association with a certain Italian footballer. Remember him?
Yep.
It's a man.
Lombardo.
Yeah. Lombardo's majorly pissed off that he gets mistaken for Derek Cowan. Lombardo, you were called for a wee while.
That's my lone head nickname.
Your lone head nickname. What is your lone head nickname? So it kind of got me thinking that you might consider following the lead of a few other footballers, such as Wayne Rooney, Lee Griffiths, who've invested some of their considerable wealth on really natty headgear. Football supporters amongst us might want to interpret that. They've had a little kind of hair restoring jobs. This is good, I like this. So a few pictorial suggestions to illustrate. Any of those on the artist disposition might want to like close your eyes for the next part. Get ready? Boom, 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 build up. That's the sort of 1980s football with the mullet, which one in the series, as we can imagine, but what we could have done, or could have endless fun with this, as you can imagine. The next slide could have been like my hair on you, that's Callum's hair on you, Derek Fraser's, no that would be but I thought, well, I've talked with you for a wee while, so I'll bring the ladies back in at this point. So what we thought was, how would Derek look with Elaine's hairstyle? You believe me? You know, the next one, which again, scaringly, when this was being put together, somebody said, he actually shoots that. Ruth's hairstyle, on Derek. And Derek's been sort of hogging the limelight for the last while, so just the flip side of that, would I be brave enough? We've taken Elaine's hair off her, and we've taken Ruth's hair off her. So, what might it be? A bit contemplative, you know, it's sort of take yourself away for a wee retreat somewhere, contemplate the world, sort of monkish. That'll be a bold Elaine and Ruth. Sorry about that, but I mean, it goes. Right, and moving swiftly on at this point. Pretty much enough from me. It's the last slide there. Back now. At this point, throw the floor over to the three escapees just for a few words before they leave us. Ruth, could you say a couple of things?
No. Just thanks for everything, all your gifts. It's been great working here. I'm not going to miss the work. I'm going to, and everybody says that, but honestly.
Elaine?
I just want to say thank you for everybody for all the kindness and all the lovely gifts I've been given. I'm looking forward to my early retirement.
Speech!
I was working on this last night, but I can't compete with that, unfortunately. That's fantastic, Brian. Thanks very much for all your work going into that. It's absolutely amazing. Hard to believe that this day's finally arrived for us three. So when you're busy at work, retirement always seems a long way off and something that happens to old folk. But now the time has arrived to free the Vera free. So it's been over 40 years, as Brian alluded to, since I started. I was a teenager in the office in Queen Street with
You were a teenager, mate.
platform shoes, office bags, and a feather cut. So not too dissimilar to that. That was the height of the fashion in the 70s.
It was not, surely.
It was actually. Right. Gordon Maitland was my supervisor, and there was guys Sam Wood and Ali Moffat, and a young Phil Anderson was kicking about upstairs. So Isabel Webster was the admin controller. Never a more appropriate job title. And John Gardner was the assessor. Different world, no emails, no internet, no PRDs or KPIs. So it was totally different back then. When the poll tax came along, that was the time when a big influx of staff into the office, and that led to lots of nights out and a lot of good times with Cowan, John Murphy, Gordon, Guy, Glitter, Cowan, Elliot Jackson, and Messrs Purvis and Logie as well, and before that Jockey Mulgrew as well. Had great times in Jockey's company. For the last 10 years or so, I've been with this good lady here, Elaine. We formed a good team in audit. I was the troubleshooter and Elaine was the fixer.
It was a troublemaker.
I identified the issues and Elaine got them sorted out. She's good at that, so if you see any traffic lights that are not working, Elaine's got a hotline to the local councillors, so just get on the phone to Elaine and she'll make sure it's back working again. Well, I missed the job. a wee bit, but I'll miss the folk in the office banter and about football and about music, so much more. My plans, as Brian says, well, my plans, I don't know, can't speak for Elaine and Ruth, but mine are just to do a bit of travelling, take extended holidays and make better use of my gym membership. So, thanks everyone for their generosity. Overwhelmed, as the girls have said, with good wishes and cards and stuff like that. So, just want to say thank you very much, and I hope to keep in touch with Tamsbury's all through my nights out with Rab and Callum. So we'll hear how you're doing, and we'll wish everyone well. Have a good Christmas, and those that can make it, welcome to join us tonight on Platform 5. Thank you all.
Just to finish off, everyone, so 3 is traditional on these occasions. There's been a collection throughout the office, and the cards have been passed round, and keep dropping them. So, somebody's emptied their pockets with their coinage in some of the envelopes, unfortunately, as well. On behalf of all your colleagues and friends, I take the opportunity to wish you a long, healthy and happy retirement from the office, and no doubt we'll see you at some point along the way.